All right, so today we're going deep on trade wars,
Okay.
but with a bit of a twist.
Okay.
I mean, we all know the usual weapons,
Yeah.
tariff sanctions, import quotas, all that.
Yeah, the classic stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
hmm
But what if
What if
a
we
country
direct-
like actually decided to use access to adult content
Whoa.
as leverage?
Okay, now that's getting interesting.
Yeah, it sounds crazy.
Yeah, it does sound crazy. Yeah.
But this is like a real thing.
Yeah, this is a real suggestion that's been floated out there.
Yeah.
We're talking about Canada potentially using access to Pornhub
Oh, wow.
as a bargaining chip in trade disputes with the U.S.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
So it sounds ridiculous on the surface,
It does.
but it actually says a lot about how international relations are changing,
Yeah.
especially with the internet and digital services and all that.
Yeah. Okay, so how did we even get to this point?
Well, let's rewind a bit.
Okay.
Back to the Trump administration. Remember when the U.S. slapped all those tariffs on Canadian goods?
Uh-huh.
Where that obviously created some tension.
Yeah. Okay.
And Canada's prime minister at the time, Mark Carney, he was really outspoken about how those tariffs were hurting Canadian businesses and workers.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, so that's kind of the backdrop for this whole Pornhub idea.
Okay, so how did Pornhub even enter the picture?
Well, it started with a resident of Toronto,
Okay.
and honestly, it was probably meant as a joke at first.
Right.
But it actually gained some traction online.
Really?
Yeah, there was even a petition going around.
Oh, wow.
It didn't get a ton of signatures, though.
I guess people got a little sidetracked.
Yeah, maybe a little too distracted.
Yeah, but think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 40% of Pornhub's traffic comes from the U.S.
Yeah, that's a huge chunk of their user base.
Right, so if access was suddenly cut off...
Oh, man, can you imagine the outrage?
Yeah.
Chaos.
Yeah, people would be freaking out.
Totally.
I mean, think about the economic side, too.
Yeah. Pornhub and its parent company, ILO, they make a lot of money. And if you restrict access to that many users,
Yeah.
that's a big financial hit.
Right.
And then you have to worry about the U.S. retaliating.
Yeah.
It could spiral out of control.
Yeah. So I don't know how effective this whole Pornhub strategy would really be.
Yeah, it's definitely a bold idea,
Yeah.
but it does raise an important question.
What's that?
Could this become a new kind of weapon in trade wars?
Denying access to popular websites and platforms.
Exactly.
Mm.
It's not as far-fetched as it sounds.
Really?
I mean, we're already seeing something similar happening right now. In the U.S.,
Oh.
16 states have restricted access to Pornhub
Why?
because of age verification laws.
Oh, okay.
Pornhub's parent company decided to just block access in those states rather than try to comply with all the different regulations.
Interesting.
Yeah, so if individual states can restrict access,
Right.
why not entire countries?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
But it's a slippery slope.
In what way?
Well, where do we draw the line?
Okay, yeah.
Today it's Pornhub, tomorrow it could be any website or platform.
Yeah, like social media or news sites.
Exactly. It sets a dangerous precedent.
Yeah, it could lead to like a fragmented internet.
Right. Different countries having access to completely different things.
And information being controlled by governments.
Exactly. And that's a scary thought.
So this whole Pornhub thing, it's not just about adult content.
No, it's much bigger than that.
Yeah, it's about the role of digital services in international relations.
And how those services can be used as leverage or even weapons.
And this is something that affects everyone.
Absolutely. I mean, we're all using these services every day.
Right, we rely on them for information, for entertainment, for connecting with people.
And if access to those services starts becoming a bargaining chip in political disputes,
That's a big problem.
yeah, it's a whole new world.
So what can people do?
Well, I think the first step is just being aware of what's happening. Paying attention to how these digital services are being used and how they could be used against us.
Right.
And then having conversations about it.
Yeah, talking to our friends, our families, our elected officials.
Exactly. We need to make sure that these services are used to connect people, not to divide them.
I think that's a great place to end it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's been a fascinating conversation.
It has.
And for everyone listening out there, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay connected.
And maybe think twice before you click on that link.
All right, everybody, that's it for this deep dive.
See you next time.
We'll be back soon with another look at the forces shaping our world.
Bye.
Take care.